This microcredential deals with plant identification in production agriculture and consists of 5 targeted skills. This targeted skill deals with plant physiology and internal structures. Plant physiology examines both the chemical and physical processes by which plants function. They capture light energy to create sugar, a food type, through photosynthesis, then break down sugar through aerobic cellular respiration for energy consumption when there is a lack of light. Plants respond to environmental changes through changes in growth patterns, life events, such as germination or flowering, and sometimes movement. They rely on soils for mineral nutrients and water supply. Biogeochemical cycles replenish most of these resources. Once water and minerals have been taken up by plants, they must be transported up through the stem's xylem, a special tissue propelled by transpiration and other forms of loss due to transpiration, along with the cohesive properties of water. Sugar-rich materials must also be transported downward by way of translocation through the phloem, a second special type of tissue. Plant physiology consists of the xylem, phloem, transpiration, gas exchange, and tropisms that help plants function and grow. The xylem is one of 2 forms of transport tissue in vascular plants, the other being the phloem. Xylem provides water from roots to stems and leaves, while also carrying nutrients from them. It's found throughout all vascular plants. This includes ferns, horsetails, and club mosses, angiosperms that are flowering plants with protected seeds, and gymnosperms with unprotected seeds not enclosed within an ovary, but instead on cones. Phloem is the plant vascular tissue responsible for moving food, such as sucrose, made in the leaves during photosynthesis to all other parts of the plant. It is made up of various cells called sieve elements. The 2 sieve elements are phloem fibers for strength and phloem parenchyma cells for transport of food. Phloem can be found throughout all vascular plants, just like xylem, but it transports water and sugars to fruit, flowers, buds, and roots. Transpiration refers to a plant's loss of water through its leaves openings called stomata, generally through photosynthesis. Stomatal openings serve several important functions in photosynthesis. They admit carbon dioxide into the leaf interior and release oxygen and water to the atmosphere. Transpiration occurs naturally and should be seen as part of this process. Consider transpiration as an unavoidable byproduct that comes along with this function of the stomata. Plants exchange gases through the stomata. Each stoma is surrounded by 2 guard cells that contain chloroplasts and have respiratory openings underneath each one. Guard cells produce sugar synthesized by chloroplasts, increase sap concentration within their cells, and draw in water from surrounding cells to form sap droplets through osmosis. Osmosis is the movement of water from a higher concentration to a lower one. Due to increased concentration, water from neighboring cells moves through the plant's cell wall and cell membrane. Without light, the sugar present in guard cells changes into starch, which is insoluble. That means it will not dissolve in water. Consequently, sap from these guard cells remains at lower concentration than nearby cells and absorb water via osmosis that keeps the stoma closed. Light, temperature, water availability, and carbon dioxide concentrations are all factors that affect stomata movement and gas exchange in plants. Tropism refers to the response or orientation of plants to stimuli that act more strongly from one direction than another. This response or orientation can be achieved either through active movement or structural modification. Examples include plants that respond and grow towards light, like in this example, or are affected by gravity, water, particular substances, mechanical stimulation, or wound lesions. On a final note, plant physiology deals with the functions and processes that occur in plants. These are affected by various stimuli in the environment, with the goal for plants to grow, survive, and pass their genetic material on to future generations.